Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the December 11th, 2025 meeting of the Memphis and Shelby County Land Use Control Board. My name is Mary Sharp, and I will be serving as your chairperson today. We will begin this morning's meeting with a roll call. Mr. Ragsdale, would you proceed, please?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Gill?
Here.
Mr. McKinnon? Present. Ms. O'Connell? Here. Mr. Orgel?
Here.
Mr. Thomas?
Here.
Ms. Wilbanks?
Here.
Mr. Winter?
Here.
And Chair Sharp.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. I would like to remind you that copies of today's agenda are located at the front right podium if you need them. If you wish to be a speaker on any case that is on today's agenda, please fill out an attendance speaker's card located at the front podium. Once you have filled out the card, please bring it up front and hand it to one of our DPD staff members located at the left podium. When that agenda item is called, you will be given an opportunity to speak. At this point, I would like to read our conflict of interest statement. The adopted policy of the Land Use Control Board requires that any member of the board recuse himself or herself from any participation in a discussion or voting on any matter on the meeting's agenda in which he or she may have direct or indirect personal interest. The member shall vacate his or her seat during deliberation on any matter from which they have recused themselves. An abstention may substitute for recusal for the purpose of maintaining a quorum. I would now like to get approval of our minutes from the last meeting. May I please have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion. I have a second. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I assume everybody's ready to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. Are there any director's remarks today?
No, ma'am, they're not.
Okay, Mr. Ragsdale, may I please have a secretary's report for this month and explanation of today's procedures?
Yes, ma'am, there is no secretary's report, so I'll go into the procedure. At the beginning of today's meeting, we will establish a consent agenda for those items where no one in the audience or on the board is requesting an individual public hearing. After the consent agenda is established and approved, we will move on to the regular agenda. For each case on the regular agenda, the DPD planner will give a presentation. This will be followed by the applicant's presentation and any testimony from others who support the application. The applicant and supporters will be given a total of 10 minutes. Following each speaker, the chair will ask the board members if they have any questions for that speaker. Next, the opposition will be given a total of 10 minutes to present their case. Following each speaker, the chair will ask the board members if they have any questions for that speaker. Finally, the applicant will then have a 3-minute rebuttal period under the same rules. Following all the presentations and after all parties have been heard, the chair will ask if the board members have any additional questions of anyone who spoke. Then the chair will close the public hearing portion of the case, entertain a motion on the matter, discuss, and then vote on the application. If an applicant or any speaker would like to be heard after the conclusion of the public hearing portion of the case, or if a board member wishes to hear any additional testimony from any party for additional clarification, a motion will need to be made along with a second, and then a 2/3 affirmative vote of the board is required to reopen the public hearing portion of the agenda item. If the public hearing is reopened, both the applicant and the opposition will be allowed an equal amount of time to provide additional testimony. After the additional comments, the board will close the public hearing portion of the case and deliberate and then take a final vote. Again, if any member of the audience wishes to provide testimony in support of or in opposition to a case, he or she will need to fill out a speaker's card. These are available at the front podium. Speaker's cards are not required of applicants since their names are already part of the record.
Thank you, Mr. Ragsdale. The board is certainly a supporter of community involvement, and we welcome neighborhood comments and feedback. We are respectful of the fact that many of you have taken off work or adjusted your schedules to be here today, but we ask that your comments please be made within the time frame allowed. If there are multiple speakers, please try not to be repetitive so as to make the most of your size 10-minute time allotment. Lastly, I'd like you to silence your cell phone so as not to interrupt or disturb anyone during today's proceedings. With our procedures now explained, I would like to introduce to my right Ms. Lisa Wilbanks, who will be this morning's consent agenda chairperson. Ms. Wilbanks will read items 1 through 10 as the consent agenda. Once the consent agenda is read, if you wish to discuss one of those items individually, please come forward and give us the item number, and we will pull that case. We will then vote on the remaining consent agenda items as one vote, and following the vote, we will hear the cases that were pulled individually. Ms. Wilbanks, would you proceed, please?
Yes, ma'am. Item number 5, case MJR 2025-031 in the Oak Haven Parkway Village area. The request is a major modification to PD 1985-320 for site plan review for an adult daycare center located at 5406 Knight Arnold Road. Staff recommendation is hold for 1 month. Item number 6, case PD 2025-015 in East Memphis. The request is an amendment to PD 2022-011 to allow mini storage located at 6450 Kirby Gate Boulevard. Staff recommendation is approval with conditions. Item number 7, case 2025-048 in South Memphis. The request is a 3-lot minor commercial subdivision located at 2635 Hernando Road. Staff recommendation is approval. That is our consent agenda.
Thank you. We have pulled items 1, 3, and 9. The items on the consent agenda, and 8, 1, 3, 8, and 9, we have pulled. The items on the consent agenda will now be voted on with one vote subject to the recommendation of DPD. If the consent agenda is approved, only items number 1, 3, 8, and 9 will have full independent public hearings. By voting on the consent agenda, each board member is affirming that he or she has read the staff report and agrees with its findings, and where applicable, its recommended conditions. Can I get a motion, please?
Yes, ma'am. Move to approve item number 5, case MJR 2025-031, item number 6, case PD 2025-015, and item number 7, case S 2025-048.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Madam Chair, can I just clarify? I think that you may have said 5 as approved, but it's a hold. I don't, just want to make sure. I don't know for sure, but just to clarify. Yeah.
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion on approving the consent agenda? Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I assume we're ready to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. Now we will go to our regular chair, Mr. Gill.
Item number 1, SUP 2025-033, unincorporated Shelby County, special use permit to allow a C-store with gas pumps and vehicle repair located at 1300 Houston Levy Road.
Okay, thank you. Is the applicant here? Okay.
I'm David Baker with Fisher & Arnold. The address for the record is 9180 Crestwind Hills Drive, Memphis.
Thank you. We will now hear the case.
Good morning. This is Masano Stadnia with DPD. This is SUP 2025-033. The permit is for allowance of a convenience store with gas pumps and also vehicle sale, which they're gonna sell new tires. This is a location map and also the vicinity map. It is located in the commercial mixed-use 2 zoning district. The surrounding land uses are a mixture of vacant lots, commercial and residential. Here are a few pictures of the site. Here is the concept plan that the applicant submitted to us. And also you can see the elevations for the convenience store. Per our review, we believe that this is not a consistent use for the area because there are 2 other gas stations in half a mile from this proposed location, and per item 263J1H of UDC, there is inconvenience for like having another gas station, and it is also going to have negative impacts on environment, and we believe that this is not a beneficial use to this district. Here are a few recommendations. Staff recommends rejection. However, if it's approved, we are recommending the list of the conditions that are regarding the times of operation, the height of the poles, and also the applicant requires to have only 10 fueling stations. The storage of any tires outside the building is prohibited, and also selling any used tires is prohibited. The applicant also needs to submit a site plan review to DPD, and that concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions of staff at this time? Okay, hearing none, we're ready for the applicant to make your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Just a little bit of background about the owner of the property. He owns Grizzly Marts in the Memphis metropolitan area. He owns 6 of those. And part of his business model, he does not sell alcohol, cannabis, or CBD products as part of his business operations, and has agreed, and we offered that as a friendly amendment as a condition of approval not to sell alcohol, lottery, CBD products. Also, we had originally had submitted a larger number of fueling islands, and we have agreed to reduce those to match what is across the street at the other convenience store, gas station, to 5, which would be double-sided, which would be a maximum of 10. In looking at it, part of our justification, if you look at the Houston levy, it's developing, thankfully, a little bit different than Germantown Parkway has developed, in that there are nodes of commercial, Walnut Grove, Macon, Highway 64. And the gas stations and other retail nodes is about 1.5 miles down to Walnut Grove, and then about 2 miles up to Highway 64 for these commercial nodes. And so we don't feel like there will be a saturation of convenience stores and fueling centers, gas stations in these areas. And then also in the immediate vicinity, the north portion of us and east of us is in what's called Phillips Farms. It's about 36 acres of commercial wrapping around this, and then directly west of Houston Levee is Leland Farms, which also has about 34 acres of commercial development approved for this. So we will be in the heart and the center of commercial retail development. So, having said that, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions right now? Okay, we're ready to hear from the opposition. We have 2 cards. Can you come and introduce yourself, give us your name and address, and your statement?
Oh, good to see you again. I have Sjogren's, and most of the time my voice will just disappear. So if you cannot hear me, I've come all the way down here from Houston Levee Road. So please let me know if you can't hear me. My name is Linda Phillips, and my husband Jerry Phillips cannot come because he is in a walker and I couldn't get him into the building. We have seen many things change at 1440 North Houston Levee Road, which is where we have lived, and we've seen many changes in the 40 years we've lived there. We feel we have legitimate facts as to why application of case SUP 2025-033 should be rejected. This plan brings way too much new traffic to this specific area at the north end lot of Houston Levee Road. What's interesting about this is that at Macon, when you go south, where all these two gas stations are and the other things are, they have it divided in the middle. You just not just a one going north and one going south road. You've got to turn in the middle so you can pull out and wait to go. Whereas on Macon going north, up there where you have to go 300 feet to even to get into this place, there's just 2 lanes, 1 lane going north, 1 lane going south. So how we feel about it, and people have been calling me, I haven't heard from in 15 years. It does not fit the character of the neighborhood, as has been said by other people, because, as I said, on the other side of Macon, everything is totally different. You do not need to put in additional gas trumps, because they are not needed, as we have 2 gas stations already right across Macon Road, where you can turn in, and they have multiple ways to get in and out of their place. So we don't need extra gas pumps. We already got extra gas pumps, and I'm up and down that road every day, and I've never seen either one of those gas pumps on either side of Houston Levee ever backed up. So we've got plenty. We got 20. We don't need 8 more. We don't need 20 more. We do not need another convenience store as we have already had a huge one right on Macon and Houston Levee. In addition to that convenience store, we have and I rode yesterday because I believe in telling the facts, because I've heard so many stories, and I believe in turning the facts. So you can't walk because you get hit. I rode yesterday and pulled into all the stores. We have over 30 restaurants, fast foods, and drive-thrus just south of Macon and Houston Levee, within 2 blocks. And the doors are run. You can run right in there, and you can come. But the important part that I keep trying to get across to people is that on that side you've got that extra third lane where you can, if you're going into Sonic and you come out and you can get through one lane, but you need to turn the other lane, you can get in that middle lane and wait and not be in part of an accident, and then go where you need to go if you're careful. But we are very, 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 unlike Germantown Parkway that's got multiple, when they cut Houston Levee right on through this property where I live, they were supposed to have 7 lanes. Well, here it is, 2025, and we got 2 lanes right here. So it's not safety. And the other point that I want to park, and it's just very emotional to me because I've been going through this for 25 years of what's been going on around me. And the fact that there's no extra turn lane to the entrance, because in the corner at Macon and Houston Levee, you've got to go up Houston Levee, and of course you can't have an opening at the intersection. This is a thick intersection, even though we only got 2 lines. You have to go 300 feet up there in order to turn in here, and it looks like they're trying to put 4 different businesses in one place, because as you see at the bottom, I've learned all about blue line ditches. You can't touch anything, so about 1/4 of that area is taken up, and that blue line ditch has to have around it, and you can't be doing anything about it. So you can see that big thing at the bottom, that's where the blue line ditch is. And then it looks like they're trying to get in multiple things in a small lot. So we don't need another convenience store. And I went in the convenience stores just to check it out. They have bulletproof glass in there, so if you go in theirs, you're the customer, but the people who work there are behind this bulletproof glass. And that's not the kind of atmosphere we want, but they're only there, they got there first. And that is a huge convenience store. I'd never been in there before. So we don't need another convenience store, because as I said, I rode yesterday and I wrote down, I even thought about bringing little menus for each of these, but I wrote down over 30 places where you can get snacks, food, fast food, drive-through, you name it, you can do it within 2 blocks of Macon right there. That's a lot for a little area. And I'm supposed to live in a rural area, they say. And then, so that's my second one. The third one, installing a large building, as you saw the picture that he showed you, starting a large building for a tire store, selling and installing trees, as well as an auto truck repair, which needs to be in a light industrial zoned area, which is just about a mile down the street on Macon Road. And so I don't know how they came up with this would be a great idea, because those of us that go up and down that street, we know what it's like trying to get in and get out, and it's dangerous as it is, because nothing's ever been improved. But I've been down here enough. I haven't been down here in a long time, so it's sort of hard for me to explain what's going on, but I'm well aware of light industrial, and when I looked around in all these places, we've got another one up the street towards 64, we got one going to Macon on to Germantown Parkway. We got plenty of these tires, cheap tires, free tires, selling and installing, as well as they also, because they do that, they work on the trucks and do other repairs. So we don't need that in an area that it's not a light industrial area. But the main reason, I could go on, and I appreciate you listening to me, because it's so important to the people I've met. We've been there a long time, and a lot of the people who live there have all died. But when another store was going to be there, it was going to be a pharmacy, it was going to be, they didn't sell liquor, and they didn't pump gasoline. So everybody that lived out there was comfortable with that. But the point I'm trying to make is that this is a very dangerous, and you can talk to the people who have to buy the guardrails. The county people will tell you who has to buy those guardrails. They get hit almost every day. And about 2 weekends ago, someone ran off the ditch there, because we got that blue line ditch that goes underneath Macon and goes on down and crosses underneath Houston Levee into the other thing. And the man's car went into the ditch. And if you're standing there or trying to get around the corner, you get hit. The other thing is that when you're at the corner trying to turn, we've got, and this is the whole thing for me, all the things I've talked about, why we don't need more pump gas, we don't need this, we don't need that, we've got plenty there, is for the safety of all the people that come down that road, not just me, and I drive my husband because he can't drive anymore because of his illness, but all the people that I know up and down, but the people who come down and up to work every day, and the kids that live are going to the school right there, those school buses. And I talked to one of the men yesterday when I was just sitting there waiting to pick up something from the pharmacy at Kroger. And they said, yeah, man, it's hard turning that corner right there. So if you're there and someone's trying to turn going north on Houston Levee off of Macon, they hit the thing. So my main thing of all that I've talked about, why we don't need any more, is because it would just increase this new traffic of people trying to check this thing out, and we don't need that. We
Okay.
don't need that.
Okay, Ms. Phillips, excuse me. You only have, we have one more speaker, and she has 2 minutes, so you
Okay.
used 8 already.
Okay.
Okay.
I just hope that everybody knows that every day tractor trailers go
Ms.
through there.
Phillips, we need
Okay.
what's your address?
My address is 1440 Houston Levee Road, right behind where this thing is, right
Thank you.
there.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
Okay.
you. And I'm sorry I yell because normally I've lost my voice
Okay,
at this point.
we got Ms. Lee now. You have approximately 2 minutes, Ms. Lee.
Okay. So
Give us your name and address.
my name is Bevan Lee at 546 Cherry Road. I'm here on behalf of the Lee family. Our property is across Houston Levee to the west from 1300 Houston Levee. 1300 Houston Levee is the northeast corner, and our property is the northwest corner. My goal today is to make you aware of OPD, Land Use Control, and Shelby County Commission's position on auto service at this intersection. Shelby County previously documented motor vehicle sales and service is not allowable in this part of the county. The Lee Line Outline Plan explicitly prohibits motor vehicle sales and service, and I can refer you to the specifics on that. So this established a precedent. Auto repair and a tire shop should be rejected by land use control to follow the standards our county has established and supported. We talked about the number of gas pumps. This development in this part of the county is generally hamstrung by insufficient road capacity. We hope that Shelby County will one day address widening Houston Levee north of Macon and Macon as well. The Lees are in no way against development, but we want the highest and best use for this area, and we encourage the applicants to modify their proposal to comply with previously established norms set by OPD, Land Use Control, and Shelby County Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions of the 2 oppositions? Okay, we're ready for the rebuttal.
All right, thank you. In regards to traffic, Houston Levee is said to be a 108-foot wide right-of-way. Macon, I believe, is an 84-foot. We have illustrated on our site plan and shown the curb cuts at the location where this was previously approved as a Walgreens. And so we have utilized the curb cuts from that previous site plan. In looking at the character of the neighborhood just south of Macon, the other side of Houston Levee is an auto zone. We also have a car wash diagonal and behind the BP. So automotive uses, repairs, so forth, are in character with that. But further, our proposal for the tire store is a national chain called Discount Tire. There's a few up on Highway 64. They don't have outside storage. They don't do repair. All they do is install tires on a smaller scale basis than your Gateways or some of the other type of facilities. In regards to the Blue Line Stream, yes, we will be working, should we get approval, with TDEC to comply with all the UST underground storage regulations and requirements, and we have proposed the location of our underground storage tanks for the northern portion, as far as away from the stream as possible, to provide additional safeties and precautions regarding to that. So, having said that, I'd be glad to answer any questions and appreciate your consideration.
You have any questions? Of either
Yes.
the applicant? Okay.
So just curious, this was done, I mean, I drive up and down Houston Levee quite often. The gas station already pretty much exists. I'm assuming this was already kind of in play, or can you explain how do we get here where we're now looking for final approval for the project?
Yes, sir. As I mentioned earlier, this was originally quite a number of years ago approved and actually recorded the plat, I believe, for a Walgreens store. They never continued or never built it and never developed it, and then eventually sold the property. The owner of the property, as I mentioned, owns these Tiger Marts, Grizzly Marts throughout the Mid-South area. Felt like with the location, number of vehicles, the people in the area, and then their model of not selling alcohol, CBD, would provide something a little different, a little more family-friendly atmosphere for a C-store than, lottery, CBD, alcohol sales, so forth.
Well, I'm talking about the physical structure of the gas station. It's been sitting there for a year at least, I want to say. As I drive up and down that area again, it's been sitting there, and now we're looking for approval on it. Is that the case?
No, sir. This is a vacant piece of property. It's a vacant piece of property. There's nothing there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. I think you may be talking up further north at Ladding or somewhere else. Yes, sir. But no, sir. There's I believe, Wendy's directly across the street south of us, and then diagonals a BP, Kroger.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Any further questions of either the applicant or the opposition? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to close the public portion of this case. Ready for the motion? Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm going to not support this application because, like the neighbor who spoke about this particular intersection, there's been a lot of development. The roads are not able to handle the amount of traffic, curb cuts, lack of turning lanes. There is a convenience store right across the street with gas pumps. There is a Kroger right across the street from there with gas pumps. It would be a third gas station on that Macon-Houston levee, which backs up. It's dangerous. There are accidents there all the time. There's another gas station less than a stone's throw away with a convenience store right on Pisgah and Macon. There is no need for more gas stations in such a busy, concentrated area where there has been very little paid attention to the roads and the structure around there. It's a dangerous situation, and I see accidents there constantly. People speed. They cut people off as they're trying to get in and out of these, fast food stores, AutoZone, all of that. There's just too much in an area that the roads are not supportive. So I'm not going to support this application. I actually think that a Walgreens might be a better idea than a
complete in and out gas station where you already have saturation where, you don't have, like say a Walgreens or a CVS for, until you go down to Wolf River or up to 64. So that is.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, go ahead.
I'm just going to piggyback on what she said. She mentioned those. We also have a brand new one going in probably less than a mile of the Dexter cutoff. We have one at Walnut Grove and Houston Levee. We have the two that we have, and they're less than a half a mile. They're on corners. One is the Kroger. It closes at 11, I think. The other one's open 24/7. So there is absolutely no need for this. As far as a tire store, that doesn't really seem the place. You can go to 64. You can go to Macon and Germantown. You are within 10 minutes of getting any other tire store. So I agree. I will not support this.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Before I again close the portion, the public portion of the meeting. Anybody else? Okay, we're going to close the public portion and we are ready for the motion.
Motion to approve SUP 2025-033, unincorporated Shelby County special use permit to allow C-store with gas pumps and vehicle repair location at 1300 Houston Levee Road.
Okay, we have a second, we have a motion. Is there any further discussion? Would we like to discuss it any further? Okay, hearing none, we're going to do individual votes.
Yes, Madam
Okay.
Chair, can do that. Mr. Orgel,
No.
Mr. Gill,
No.
Mr. McKinnon,
No.
Ms. O'Connell,
No.
Ms. Wilbanks,
No.
Mr. Thomas,
No.
Mr. Winter,
No.
Chair Sharp,
No.
motion fails.
Okay, motion failed.
Item number 3, PD 2025-008, Raleigh, commercial plan development to allow equipment and vehicle storage as part of a contractor storage located at 4387 Old Raleigh-LaGrange Road.
Okay, would the applicant please come up and introduce yourself and give us your address?
Yes, my name is David Upton. Do I need to give my address? Yeah, 2106 Lee, Memphis, Tennessee, 38104. I've got Mr. Vasquez. He's my client. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them your address.
Good morning. This is Reynaldo Vasquez. I live on the 3501 Kirby Terrace Drive. This is my current address.
Okay, thank you. We will hear the case now.
Alexis Longstreet with the DPD. I will be presenting on case PD 2025-008. This property is located at 4387 Old Raleigh-LaGrange. This is a planned development for lawn, tree, and or garden service with limited outdoor storage. This property is located in the Riley neighborhood. About 43 notices were sent out August 22nd. There was one letter of opposition received during the time of completion of this staff report, and there were letters of support received after the completion of the staff report. The property is currently zoned residential urban 3. There's a good block of Raleigh-LaGrange Road here, and it's surrounded by commercial mixed-use 1 zoning districts, which are developed, as well as some more residential and as well as heavy industrial that is also included in the floodplain. The property has a land use designation that is currently vacant and surrounded, yet again, as I mentioned earlier, with some commercial, residential, institutional, and a couple of industrial properties as well. These are the site photos for the property. This is probably about this time last year. Based on our Google Street View investigation, this property began to operate somewhere between February 2022 and 2024. The southwest corner of the property runs into phase 11 of the Wolf River Greenway Trailhead, as you all can see here. That's what this crossing walk is for. And also here, there was a code enforcement case at the beginning of this year in January for the failure to obtain the fence permit. I included the aerial here, as we can see that's the most accurate at the time of when the enforcement case began and was issued in cases of the operation itself. These are the code enforcement photos later in the month of January that show kind of up close and personal of the conditions of the property. Staff did recommend rejection, and of course with some alterations to the outline plan conditions. This is the concept plan that was submitted by the applicant. As you all can see here, there's parking being provided for specifically the equipment parking and as well as for covered parking pad or covered parking shed, I should say, and as well as a material processing area. And there are some, with that fencing, there are some entry gates already being proposed. The applicant is proposing a 44-foot wide curb cut along Riley-LaGrange Road here. The curb cut already exists along Old Riley-LaGrange. One of staff's additional review points was that all traffic traveling to and from the subject property shall only take access from Riley-LaGrange Road in lieu of the applicant proposing the establishment of the additional 40-foot wide curb cut. This proposal was inconsistent with the Memphis 3.0 as well, given that it has a designation for anchor neighborhood, which is primarily single unit, in some sort of way to still serve residential development. So in conclusion, as I mentioned earlier, the applicant's proposal of limited outdoor storage also includes vehicle and equipment parking and overnight storage of wood and trees that would be transferred the following business day, therefore meaning materials will not sit or have to be processed for most likely a period of 24 hours. The enforcement case that was mentioned earlier, as well as a part of before occupying the site was heavily wooded and vacant. And then I mentioned also the staff recommendations, and as well as there were a few changes. If you all go to pages 21 and 22 of the staff report, there are a few strike-throughs of the outline plan conditions that the applicant proposed. And so the major one was in the uses permitted section, which is that first outline plan condition that you all will see. Staff did revise that to say that a lawn, tree, and a gardening service with limited outdoor storage, including vehicle and equipment parking, covered and uncovered, incidental to tree cutting and wood removal business, and then trucks may be parked after hours overnight for transfer of wood and trees to the landfill on the next business day, which refers to the company's operating vehicles. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions of staff at this time? Okay, we're ready for the applicant and or representative to make your presentation.
Chairman, is there any opposition? We'd be happy to defer to them to go first. I'm more than happy to do that. If you've got people here.
There's no opposition right
Okay. So, let me see, I think I've got, okay, here we are. So, this property has been vacant, we think always. It's always been vacant. It's a triangular piece of property, and in a minute we'll pull the zoning map up again. I'm going to point some things out to you. And Mr. Vasquez has been in the tree business for 15 years here. He basically cuts down trees and does tree work, and that's simply all he does. And he basically is, and I think he's been apologizing, and he'll apologize to you all and offer an apology. He made a mistake. He bought this land several years ago with the intent of, basically what happens, they go out, his employees show up, not many employees, small business, they may have several cars there, park there, go out, cut down trees, come back. The landfill closes at 4, and they bring the trucks back with the trees and limbs, park them overnight, and take them to the landfill the next day, because oftentimes they'll work until dark. And he bought this property with the intent of using it that way, and was using it that way for quite some time. He put up, with really no complaints whatsoever, put up a chain link fence, and it worked out just fine until he started getting broken into. People cut in the fence, would come in and vandalize things, whatnot. How much time do I have, Madam Chairman?
You have about 8 minutes.
Oh, 8, I've used 2 of them, so I need to watch my time. So he then put up this fence. A neighbor who is now supporting his proposal, complained, and the code enforcement officers came out and said, well, you've got two problems. One is you can't do this type of fence, which is sheet metal, unless you're in heavy industrial. It doesn't look good. It is unsightly. No question about it. He knows it. We know that. And the second problem is that he says that the code people said you're not zoned properly to do what you're doing there. It's an apartment type zoning that allows pretty high density. It also allows manufactured mobile homes and whatnot. I think it's been, the city operated an asphalt plant back there like in the 50s, I think, but nothing's ever been there, and there's not much else around it, and there's not much he's disturbing. So what he's proposed to do, and we consulted with the staff and took their advice, what he's done is asked for permission to do a PUD that would specifically limit it to exactly what he's doing. Exactly what he's doing, and we would even put further stipulations. Having employee parking in the day, bringing his limited number of trucks in at night, perhaps the only other thing he might do is that sometimes if you've got a bunch of tree stuff, you might move it to a bigger truck, consolidate it, because they charge you by the truckload, something like that. Nothing stored on the ground, and transfer it to the landfill the next business day. He's laid out a site plan, and what he's also, in fact, let me, if you could scroll to the next slide, I think I can help you a little bit. When you see the site plan we laid out, what he would like to do is build a covered parking shed, and then he's got, you've got some equipment parking, you've got it all laid out pretty simply, and what he's proposing to do is replace the very unsightly fence with a good-looking redwood fence, and line it with Leland pines, which should make it look, here we go, before and after. So with a good-looking gate, a good-looking fence, good-looking Leland pine trees all the way around. Now, and that's what he's proposing, and nothing else and no other uses. So if he sold the property, it would be restricted to that. So they couldn't come in and do another kind of store, whatever it is in the CM1. If you go to the next slide, please. He's got most all of, now here's the zoning. I just want to remind you, right across the street, well, there's a zoning, there it is. Right across the street is about 100 acres. It's heavy industrial. So if he was there, he could do a lot of other things too. And we hope that won't be developed for heavy industrial, because I don't think we really want that there. Behind it, most of it behind is CMU1. So there are lots of little businesses back there. Just to the north, see that blue area? That is a large cemetery. It's very old. It's dilapidated. It was a Raleigh cemetery, one of the first in the entire community. A gentleman owns it, and I think they do ghost tours. He is supporting it. I'll show you a support letter of what Mr. Vasquez wants to do, and he's been helping him clean up some of the wood and debris. Directly across the street, well, let's move on. So what you see is there's commercial up and down this street. There are apartments across the street, and they are supporting his proposal. So if you go further up north to Raleigh-LaGrange, there's some hotels and some other commercial up there too. You go to the next slide, please, Miss. Thank you so much. This is Desiree Smith. This is the property owner directly in the rear of him. On what you'll see is old Raleigh-LaGrange. It comes up behind it. That's a paved road with no sidewalks. It's pretty rough back there. She owns the property with her father next door, and I can show you on the map in just a minute. But I'm Desiree Smith. I'll read it to you. Property at Raleigh-LaGrange. We're directly across from Mr. Vasquez. Our family's owned the property over 6 years. Please approve his planned development. Continue his tree service. The property was a homeless encampment and a dumping ground prior to his purchasing it. His business is a tremendous improvement. Now, this is the neighbor directly behind him. And she goes on to say she's reviewed the plans. If you could go to the next slide, please. Now, well, I've got forms, and I've got some forms I'm going to pass out, let y'all look at. She's got a form she signed, and so did her father. That's their property. It's a commercial. It used to be a bar, tavern, restaurant. They have a right to reopen it, and so they are supporting what he's doing. If you could go to the next slide, please. And look, I put in red where she is. That's where she is. So that's right there. Next slide, please. Nothing. This is the cemetery. This is the cemetery. That's the gentleman who owns it. He does ghost tours and whatnot. It's a huge area to the, I guess, kind of the northwest, and he's supporting it. It's overgrown, and that's what you see from the street. If you go to the next slide. This one, let me see. Yeah, this is on the front of the see the little red area there? That's next door to him and in front of the cemetery. And this is an industrial building that is called Kick It, and they play kickball and they have tournaments there. And this is the gentleman who complained. He felt bad. I said, don't feel bad. We're going to do a good-looking fence, and now he's supporting the property. And he too said, we don't want it to be a dumping ground. If he can make it look good, we feel good about it. It doesn't bother our business. Next slide, please. Oh, this is a church, Victory Church, okay? And I can show, this is next door. I think I'll show you on the next map. There's a church, and they own two corners just to the northeast. You can see it up there, yeah. That's, well, yeah, thank you. You saw it a minute ago. It's just to the north and west. There it is. They own a big commercial building and their church there. And Reverend Lavender, they are fully supportive, as you can see. Next slide. Now, this is very important. Across the street, you have a 96-unit apartment complex. It's owned by Alco Properties. They are a very reputable apartment community. They got 6,000 units all over the country. They are supportive. You see Robert Hyde, their president, signed it. They're a Memphis-based company. They run great communities, and they are certainly not for it going back to being a vacant lot or even having manufactured housing, which they could do by right there. So that, to me, they're big stakeholders, and they're right across the street. Next slide. This is a Raleigh Fleet store 2 blocks north. They've been in business 62 years. That's their form, and I've got copies of that too for everybody. Go ahead. This is directly behind Juan Diaz. Now look at that street behind him. I mean, this ain't Park Avenue behind him, and that's the city street, and it's not in good shape. And that's the same street that Desiree Smith and her father have to deal with. And he's a small contractor. He's zone commercial. He's a small contractor, and he does work there, and he's completely supportive. I think I've got his form in there as well. Next slide.
Yeah, 1 more minute.
Huh? 1 minute? This is a Body Works shop behind him as well. And you can see up in the corner. Go ahead, next. This is a cabinet shop, and it's a few blocks back. Go ahead, next. This is R.S. Lewis & Sons Funeral Home. They are 2 blocks north, and they were familiar with the property. They said, if he'll make the fence good, they'll sign the form. You see Tyrone Burris has sent that form into us, so they're supportive as well. Next. Big stakeholders in the community. This is the Top Notch. It's a grocery store. It's 2 blocks away. They kindly supported it. They felt like the fence looked great. Go ahead. Then you've got a tire service down the street. I'll run through these quickly. He is about 2 blocks away at that other street. I think that's Austin P. Next. This one is another, they're custom rims. They're just a business in the community, automotive. Go ahead. And look, I'm not the greatest artist in the world, but the forms I've got and what I've walked you through is all of the stakeholders and property owners right around him are supportive of what he wants to do. They signed the form. I've got some of them. I'm going to pass these around. Y'all can look at them, and I can make copies. I'm going to hand this to you. And so it's important that you have a note. You have a memo from someone in Scenic Hills.
Okay.
Go to the next one, please. Scenic Hills is 1.7 miles away and is on the other side of the interstate. So it is very far. And although they're an important community, it's kind of like the Chickasaw Gardens of Raleigh, I think. It's a beautiful place. It's almost like, we have places on Broad. Well, Reverend Norm's not here, but he's on Broad, but you have mixed use. Okay, you got it. So that's my point, and I'm ready for questions, and I hope you'll ask me some.
Okay, are there any questions of the applicant at this time? Any questions? Okay, hearing none, and we don't have any opposition, we're going to close the public portion of this meeting.
Okay.
And we're going to look at
Motion to approve item number 3, PD 2025-008, Raleigh, commercial plan development to allow equipment and vehicle storage as part of contractor storage located at 4387 Old Raleigh LaGrange Road.
We got a second?
Second.
We have a motion. Is there any discussion?
I will say that in this particular case, if the applicant is willing to do these and make these improvements, I could get on board with the use of this lot in the way he's using it. And if we got him to do it in a time frame that planning was acceptable, it was acceptable to planning. It wasn't, if he got this PD done, and he made these improvements relatively quickly, I could get on board with it.
Anybody else?
I mean, I would like to ask staff, would you be amenable to that if they did these improvements?
This case also has to go before city council as well. So it'll still be kind of susceptible to city council's ruling and then that timeline to see how long it takes to move before that body.
Anybody else? No further questions? Okay, I'm assuming we're ready to vote. We will do a individual.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Orgel?
Yes.
Ms. Wilbanks?
Yes.
Mr. Winter?
No.
Ms. O'Connell?
Yes.
Mr. McKinnon?
Yes.
Mr. Gill?
Yes.
And Chair Sharp.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to thank? He wanted to thank you, I think.
Thank you to everybody, for whatever you do for us. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Item number 8S 2025-049, Oak Haven Parkway Village, 2-lot major commercial re-subdivision located 3292 East Shelby Drive.
Good morning. This is Masana Stadnia with planning with DPD. This is S 2025-049, located at 3292 East Shelby Drive. This is a 2-lot commercial re-subdivision. Here you can see the location map, and also this is the vicinity map. It is zoned as CMU 1. The current land uses are a mixture of commercial, residential, and vacant lots. Here are a few pictures of the site. This is the preliminary plan that the applicant has submitted to us. The first lot is at 2.17 acres, and it is currently vacant. And the second one that they are proposing is 1.89 acres, and is currently occupied with a gas station. Staff recommends approval with conditions. Here are the list of the conditions. The sidewalks need to be repaired and installed, and also the abandoned apron, driveway apron needs to be closed. The applicant also needs to submit a site plan, and any changes to the site plan needs to be reviewed by the zoning administrator. That concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions.
And Ms. Lestana, can you zoom in just a little bit more on this, please? Thank you.
Okay. We need have you completed your presentation?
Yes.
Okay, we need the applicant to come and introduce yourself and give us your name and address.
David Bray with the Bray Firm, 2950 Stage Plaza North, Bartlett 38134. First of all, we're in agreement with all the conditions. If we have opposition, I'd like to reserve my time until after they speak.
Okay, thank you. We're ready for the person in opposition. Mr. Wesley? Give us your name and address and give us your statement. You have 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm Willie Wesley at 4600 Tullahoma Road, of course, Memphis, Tennessee, 38118. And of course, I vehemently oppose the proposed plan. As a resident next to the proposed plan, I oppose it again. Two reasons. One, there exists a drug-infested place right across the street from the proposed plan. And that would create a more dangerous or hazardous situation if anything is developed there. And my neighbors, myself, and my family would also be at risk of anything extra there. It's already, like I mentioned, drug-infested place, establishment across the street. And I live right across the street, as you can see up there, right across from that proposed place. I live right there. And the other thing, my family, my neighbors agree that any additional establishment would create an even more hazardous to the neighborhood and to the community. We trying to, I appreciate what has been done there about some of the developments at the corner of Shelby Drive and Tullahoma there, but anything like that would really create, it would go against what the city is trying to do to improve the area.
Okay. Do you have any questions of Mr. Wesley?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I want to make statements. I agree with him wholeheartedly in that community. While this is a unique situation, the case before us is just to simply subdivide the land. But I had a talk with the gentleman representing them. I know what they plan to put there because he shared it with me. And while they had the community meeting, there was no one there because I live in that community, and I got the letter the day of the meeting that night. The meeting had already happened, so that's why they didn't have anyone there, because I would definitely been there opposing it. But what they plan to put there is a daycare center. And across from that is called Country Line Store. Murders happen there quite often. And it's unfair. Our children deserve better than that, to put a daycare center there. It just should not be. Just leave it like it is, as just land. And we're trying to beautify this. My neighbor here lives right next door. He has to look out his window right at this. And it's just unfair, and it does not go with trying to beautify this area. And some of us choose to still live there because we have land there. He has land there. And I would hope we would oppose this subdividing the land. We're not even addressing the what type of use it will have. The unfortunate part is if we do subdivide the land, they may not have to come before us to put a daycare there because it may be already zoned for that. And that's why I asked for this one to be pulled, because usually we don't get involved a whole lot in subdividing land. But this is that important. There are residential people who have lived there a long time. I've lived there 30 years, a little over 30 years, and have seen it evolve. But that store was there when I got there. But that's where the murders happened, in that area, at that store. There was one this year, because it's open 24 hours a day, and there's always traffic there. And to put a daycare center across from it is just wrong. I don't know who would own it, but anyone's children deserve better than that. But moreover, we don't need any business there. There's a gas station there that land is a part of right now. And I hope we would just deny subdividing this lot, because even if it becomes a daycare center, I guarantee you it won't last long, and then there's no telling what type of business. It will be an eyesore. I've seen it happen in this community when they'll start off and they can't sustain it because people don't want to come over there. And then you have all kinds of businesses that'll go in there that'll further deteriorate the neighborhood. Thank you.
let's say one more thing. I wholeheartedly agree. And also, if something like this takes place, you're talking about, as the gentleman mentioned, down the road, you're going to have more of the Memphis Police Department, more crime possibly. In other words, you're going to have a situation that you're going to need to be addressed by the city of Memphis to deal with the issues, and that's no doubt, 100% sure.
Thank you, Mr. Wesley. Okay, we're ready for the applicant to make your presentation since you didn't at first.
Thank you. So to address one thing brought up by Mr. Thompson, that's not a set use at this time. We don't know exactly what will be done with that lot. The owners are looking to subdivide it and sell it to somebody else. But the property right now is on CMU1. And it could develop without further subdivision. They could build another building on there and lease it to somebody, at this time. So this is just a mechanism, and, as I said before, we're in agreement with staff conditions. We meet all the requirements for the subdivision to create another lot in there, so that this can go forward and develop. Again, it's on CMU1. There are restrictions in the code as far as landscaping and setbacks from the residential areas, which they will be adhering to. As far as the business across the street and what's happened there, unfortunately, that's too common of a story in too many parts of Memphis. But typically, new development helps flush out some of that stuff and make it a little less tolerable and a little less likely to continue. Happy to answer any questions the board has.
Do you have any questions of the applicant? No. Any questions? Okay, hearing none, we're going to close the public portion of this meeting.
Motion to approve item number 8, S-2025-049, Oak Haven Parkway Village, two-lot major subdivision, major commercial re-subdivision located at 3292 East Shelby Drive.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any further discussion? Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I assume we're ready to vote.
Mr. Gill?
No.
Mr. Oracle?
No.
Ms. Wilbanks?
No.
Mr. McKinnon? Abstain. Mr. Thomas?
No.
Mr. Winter?
No.
Ms. O'Connell? And Chair Sharp?
No.
Motion fails.
Item number 9, SUP 2025-034, unincorporated Shelby County, special use permit to allow dog kennel in the Conservation Agricultural District located at 1981 North Collierville, Arlington Road.
Okay, would the applicant come and introduce yourself, please, and then we'll hear the case. Give us your name and address.
My name is John Williams, address 11714 Old Meadow Road, Eads, Tennessee.
Thank you. We'll now hear the case, and we do have opposition.
Good morning. I'm Chloe Christian, presenting case SUP 2025-034. This is a special use permit to allow a dog kennel at 1981 North Collierville, Arlington Road. This is out in the county in Commission District 2. So here's a location map and an overview of this project. Like I said, it's out in the county area, District 2, and this is a request to relocate an existing dog kennel facility and also to expand to accommodate a maximum of 80 dogs. And ultimately, staff does not support this request due to a few things, mainly the size of the lot and the proximity to residential and recreational uses. Here's a zoning map of the property. It is at the corner of Collierville, Arlington, and George R. James Road. As you can see on the land use map, it is surrounded by mostly single-family uses, and there is also a recreational park in the green area. And I believe a cemetery is indicated by that blue strip to the west. Here's some photos of the subject property. There is one access point on George R. James, a gravel drive, but the applicant does intend to extend that driveway to access from Carville, Arlington as well. Here's the preliminary site plan submitted by the applicant. So it includes a proposed enclosure of the carport and an addition to the rear of the home with some fenced play areas to the rear of the home as well. So in conclusion, staff, we do not support this request. We don't find that the approval criteria of UDC subsection 9.6.9A and B have been met. This property does not support the use of a dog kennel facility, especially for up to 80 dogs. We have received some concerns from the neighbors as well that sort of echo concerns about noise and traffic. And we do share those concerns. And we find that if granted, the special use permit could cause substantial detriment to the public good and impair the intent of the UDC. However, if this proposal is approved, we have presented some conditions, which I will pause to allow you all to read. And that concludes my presentation, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay. All right, any questions? Okay, we're ready for the applicant to make your presentation.
Good morning, my name is John Williams. I currently own Rough Country Dog Resort. We are an established dog boarding facility in the same area with which we are hoping to relocate. And we are, just so you have a little background, we are not a new run-of-the-mill dog boarding facility. We've won Memphis Most for best dog boarding 3 years. And we also this year won a Best of Tennessee award for best dog boarding. I myself personally have a bachelor's degree in animal science and a master's in animal physiology. Spent 8 years as a vet tech and have extensive knowledge in handling and control of animals. The property we're looking at is, as you saw on the map, is directly across from a park with baseball fields. And right next door to that is a horse boarding facility. We would not be the only animal thing in the area. And the property is on the building, yards, everything would be on the northeast corner of the property, which is 5 acres, leaving acres of land between any surrounding neighbor. We also have letters of support from our current neighbors at our existing location, stating that there is no disturbing the neighborhood, there's no noise, there's no increase in traffic. We're already in the area, so the traffic in the new place would not increase at all. There are people that live on the street where we're located now that didn't even know we were there. I spoke to them after this all came out, and they asked us, like, where are you located? And we told them, like, oh, we didn't even know you were there because there is no noise. And we are, there's no disturbance to wildlife. We have wildlife come up to the property where we're located at now. I know that was a concern with some of the people. There is concern about odor. There is no odor. We clean daily. You wouldn't even know we were there. So, are there any questions for me?
One quick question. Where are you currently located and operating a boarding facility?
We're located on Old Meadow Road. It's about 1.5 miles from the subject property.
And so why move to this property? Just bigger?
We are, we're located at our house now, and we have a child on the way, so we're trying to relocate.
All right. So you're boarding dogs at your house now, though. Did you get that zoned for this use?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. All right. So did you own, and you haven't bought this new property yet?
No, it's contingent on this approval, yes.
That's good. Okay. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Anybody else want to ask the applicant any questions? Go ahead.
You referenced the horse boarding facility. Can you describe where that is in relationship to the property that we're talking about?
It's directly across Collierville, Arlington.
The big property with the lake?
Yes.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Yes. Are you building a new facility or this?
No, we would use the existing building that's there with intentions of adding on as outlined in the plan there.
And does that building, is it viewable from the street?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. How many acres is that?
It's 5 acres.
5 acres. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll listen to the opposition and we'll give you a chance to come back. Ready for the opposition? Give us your name and address and your statement, please. We have about 4, so you have about 2.5 minutes each.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name's Tony Reed, and I actually live next door to this facility, which is owned by a gentleman by the name Charlie Briggs. Been trying to sell the house for years. His mother passed away at 95 years of age about 4 years ago. This is not a place for a dog kennel, and I'm concerned not just environmentally wise for runoffs from washing kennels, noise, barking. You talk about the times. I mean, my grandkids come over, want to fish in the pond, or if I have people come over, it literally is their fence is my fence, and I've put privet hedge up just to try to, because it's not taken care of as well because they have renters there. Then you have the ball field, like he said. I'm not familiar except for people that train horses 2 doors down from me on Collierville, Arlington, that have a little horse arena, but I'm not familiar with the housing. The gentleman across the street has his own horses. I'm not, and horses don't bark. One dog barks, they all bark. But the urine, the feces, the insects that this can cause, this is a neighborhood. And you're talking on the corner, if anyone's been out this way, George R. James, Collierville, Arlington, like this. That house, my house, traffic, 2-lane road, you can't, there's no way for it. Even if you put down the little wires to try to check people coming down and how many, you can't make this a 4-lane road unless you take out my driveway, my brick entrance, and someone else's across the street. But the 2-lane road coming from George R. James, there dead ends, and people fly down Collierville, Arlington Road. There's just no room. Why not take it to where there is commercial off of like Macon and the interstate? And there's a Dollar General proposed too on this agenda. It should be down there too. There's already one on Macon and Houston Levee. Sorry, I ain't ever done this and didn't know who else was going to talk about this, but it's just got me distraught here. And I didn't even hear anything about this until another neighbor told me. And I was out of town when the first meeting happened or something at the property. I got something the day of this. Then I got emails and sent them to Ms. Chloe and to a Mr. Bradford, who's on this board, associate chair somewhere, I'm not sure, but there's just nowhere for this to be. And it's probably, I would get the brunt, me and the gentleman behind me. It's just from the noise. I mean, you can't put 80 dogs. I don't care if you say it's 5 acres or 1 acre. And to take that house, which is itty bitty tiny, and all the other houses, including mine, is a little large, but it's not for kennels. It's not for what's being proposed. I'm surprised that we're even here on this and how it was brought to this commission so quickly and us not know anything about it. I got the one notice the day, and this was last week only, so I didn't get anything prior to it. Sorry. I've got some little notes here I made on my phone. I didn't know I'd be talking. Yeah. Sorry. If anyone else wants to speak, let them please come up.
You have 3 more people who want to speak. You have 3 more people who want to speak.
Yeah, I don't want to take up someone else's time too, but that's pretty much it. I mean, it's environment. And what happens if a dog gets out? I mean, my grandkids or somebody else over there, the kids at the ball fields? What kind of dogs are you housing or trying to house here? If you drove down the street, you'd see this is an impossible task that's trying to be done. And why not leave the dogs at his house? Because he's going to have a baby. You don't want to hear the barking and stuff. Nothing against this gentleman, but I just don't see this happening. Anyone drive down that road, there's no way. The traffic is already bad just from people coming down. I appreciate your time. If you have questions and want to know, I mean, I know all the neighbors, who has what, where, and when. So I'm just, if you have a question, please ask.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You have 3 more speakers. Come on up. Name, address, statement.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Scott McDonald. I live at 2020 North Reed Hooker, which is just down the street from the property in question. And I apologize, I'm not a public speaker, so I'm going to refer to my notes here. I just want to say I'm also in opposition to the proposal to grant a permit for the purpose of operating a dog boarding business in our residential neighborhood. The site of the property is surrounded on all 4 sides by residences, homes. The site itself is a house. It'll have to be extensively modified to accommodate this business. I'm concerned mainly with maintaining the integrity of the neighborhood as a peaceful residential community without any commercial properties or activities. A kennel or dog boarding business does not fit in the midst of this residential setting. I believe the noise, the smell, the added traffic, the required landscaping of the property, especially the chain link fences, would have a profoundly negative effect on the property values of all the nearby homes and the neighborhood in general. There are nearby commercially zoned areas at the fringes of our neighborhood that would be much more suitable for a business like this. I'm also very concerned that granting this permit would set a bad precedent. In the few years that I've lived at 2020 North Reed Hooker, our neighborhood has opposed and defeated 2 other proposals to grant commercial zoning in our neighborhood. We want to maintain the integrity of a all residential, non-commercial conservation, non-commercial neighborhood. Lastly, I want to say I love dogs. I have one myself, but I have to ask you, how would you feel if your next door neighbor wanted to move in with 80 dogs? Thank you.
Thank you. 2 more speakers.
Hi, my name is Sunshine James. We are the family directly to the west of the proposed dog kennel. So our properties adjoin. My address is 11927 George R. James, and we're here to formally and strongly oppose the application for the commercial dog kennel. The approval of this application would have substantial negative effects on our property and to the immediate neighborhood. Some of the negative effects would be the noise pollution, the decrease in the property value, and the safety hazard due to the increased traffic, just to name a few. The operation of a commercial dog kennel, regardless of its proposed size, is fundamentally incompatible with the residential zoning district and established character of our neighborhood. The primary concern is excessive and sustained noise pollution from barking and howling dogs. The activity is not occasional, it's inherent to the function of a kennel and would occur day and night, severely impacting the peace and quiet of our neighborhood and what we moved there for. The concentration of numerous animals will inevitably lead to significant issues with unpleasant odors and the required management of large amounts of animal waste, negatively affecting the air quality for all surrounding properties. The increased traffic for the operation would introduce non-residential customers and service traffic onto our residential streets, increasing the congestion, safety concerns, and creating potential hazards for pedestrians and children. This consistent disruption of noise, smell, traffic will all directly injure our general welfare by preventing residents from enjoying their property and peace of mind. We personally have poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into our home to make it a beautiful oasis to be enjoyed by our family, and a dog kennel would not allow this to be enjoyed anymore. My property and all surrounding homes were purchased with the expectation of living in a quiet residential zone. The introduction of a commercial animal-related business next door will immediately and significantly devalue my property. A commercial kennel is a recognized nuisance that buyers actively seek to avoid. The documented noise, odor, and traffic will make it more significantly difficult to sell my home and will force a decrease in the asking price, representing a direct financial loss to me and potentially all adjoining property owners. As previously stated, I have invested significantly in my home, and the approval of this kennel would compromise that investment through no fault of my own. For these reasons, the clear detriment to neighborhood character, the negative effect of the general welfare through the noise and odor, and the guaranteed decrease in surrounding property values, I respectfully request that you deny the application for the commercial dog kennel at 1981 North Collierville, Arlington Road. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one more speaker. You have about 2 minutes.
Hey, my name's Danny Kudre. I live at 12123 George R. James, which is right on the other side of the ball fields and park. I'm going to be less than 2 minutes because I would just like to say they said everything that I was going to say. I agree with them 100%. We moved out there for the peace and quiet and relaxation, and a dog kennel is not going to allow us to do that. And the values of the houses, the concern of that, and all of the traffic and the safety of kids and other dogs around. I have a dog, love dogs. So I just want to support what they're saying. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions of the opposition at this time? Any questions? Okay, we're ready for the applicant to come back and give us your rebuttals and/or further statement.
Yes, I'd just like to say that, as you heard, all of the opposition are basically stating the same thing, which from the current neighbors can tell you are not a concern. The noise, the smell is taken care of daily. There is no smell that affects anyone. If traffic is there, traffic will not increase. And there's not much more I can say. Thank you.
Any questions? Okay. Hearing none, we're going to close the public portion of the meeting. We need a motion.
Motion to approve item number 9, SUP 2025-034, unincorporated Shelby County.
Actually, I'd like to say something.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Well, and Mr. Conley, you can actually discuss after the close the portion if you.
Motion to approve item number 9, SUP 2025-034, unincorporated Shelby County special use permit to allow a dog kennel in the Conservation Agricultural District located in 1981 North Collierville, Arlington Road.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. I understand there's some discussion. Okay.
I'm going to say that I'm not going to support this application, and not because I don't think it's a worthy endeavor. I think there is definitely a need and a place for a dog kennel. I'm just very concerned about the location of it. And I think there is plenty of land, plenty of other places right nearby that are more suitable, say like right off 385, the highway, where it is a little more commercial. This is smack in the middle of a residential neighborhood, and I do think that it's going to have a negative impact on the properties around it and the property values and the nature of the neighborhood. So in that respect, I'm not going to support this application.
Thank you. Anybody else?
What are we voting to plant on 30 dogs, 80 dogs? I just want to clarify what we're voting on.
So the applicant has requested the 80, and we're recommending rejection. However, if you do approve it, so if you voted yes, then it would be conditioned by staff as this, unless the board wanted to change that.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, hearing no further discussion, I assume we're ready to vote, and we can do that individually.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Winter?
No.
Mr. Orgel?
No.
Mr. Gill?
No.
Ms. Wilbanks?
No.
Ms. O'Connell?
No.
Mr. McKinnon?
No.
Mr. Thomas?
No.
And Chair Sharp?
No.
Motion fails. Did I get everybody?
Motion fails. Thank you. Do we have any further business?
No, ma'am, we do not, except it's December, and so happy holidays to everyone, and we